C-Doc again.
Hey, it's 2024. I think. I know it's Wednesday. We'll be back to Tuesday next week, I think. But, you know, it's all good. Welcome to 2024, everybody. It's C-Doc again. It's time to do the damn thing, right? Season 3. Here we go. Right? Sure. All right. You guys know the rest. Anyway, bringing on the crew tonight. First up, she got her start in classic rap radio. Our lady from the heyday of K-Day, Jennifer. Oh, Jenny.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Throwing up the dubs.
Yep.
West Side coming.
Hey, that was a nice little intro.
Yeah, season 3.
We got the new shit.
Yep, the new shit it is.
We got the new shit.
Season 3. I'll be
how
damned.
was it all?
How was it all? It was all good, I guess, you know.
All right.
You know, how about yourself?
It sounded like Beirut out in front and back of my house.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
But
taking it back to Beirut. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I have been renamed by Don Key. I just want everybody to know.
You what's up, Don Key? Wait, so you're no longer the commissioner? Wait.
I'm the commissioner, but for some reason
chairman of the board.
Be chairman of the board.
There you are.
Either that or it's you.
I don't know.
Who needs Judge Judy when we have?
There you go. I'm with you. I'm here for all of it. That's great.
A couple weeks ago, I was Oprah. Now I'm Judge Judy. At least we're,
Yeah.
We're getting to the. There you go, Mara. Exactly. Fuck around and find out.
Yep. It always comes back to FAFO. So.
Yep. The people next door almost did exactly that when they decided to have a party New Year's Eve.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And with a really crappy DJ, mind you.
Oh, F that.
And the bass so loud that I could hear it with all the windows and everything shut.
Ugh. Playing shit music. That's not cool.
Playing
not cool.
Shit music. And apparently there was a moment in time when we all thought that karaoke would be a good idea.
Speaking of karaoke, Mara got the kids a little karaoke.
Oh, no.
Thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to know when Rocco gets a drum set. Please. I want to start a GoFundMe for Rocco getting a drum set.
That would just be chaos. Sheer utter chaos.
I'm here for it. I'm here.
Yeah.
For
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. See, because you can always just turn off the screen. You know,
see,
I got to live with that.
Mara says she's down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Until we get it. Yeah. It should be like. But anyway.
I couldn't.
Also joining us.
I couldn't think of a better thing.
Oh, I know, right? Also joining us tonight is the man behind People's Distinctive Travels, a fantastic podcast in his own right, and lessons while you're at work. Sure. Oh damn it! I forgot what the thing was. What was the subtitle? Ultra Bag 7. What was
People's
the subtitle?
Distinctive
You
Travels.
are now chilling with the Culture Clip King.
The Culture Clip King.
Wow.
Clip King.
Wow.
It's gonna take me an episode or two to get that down, but I will get it.
I've been rebranded. I'm the Culture Clip King.
The Culture Clip King. Yes. Ultra
That's
Bag
me.
7. Happy New Year.
Can I just tell you, Red Venom says he's so in on the drum set for Rocco.
Yeah, of course. 'Cause
We're getting one.
You live in England, Red. What the hell, man? You're nowhere near here.
Rocco's gonna play those drums like Animal on the Muppet Show. Like,
hey, if he learns how to do breaks, I'm cool. I'm cool.
he could be on some
Oh,
records.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put him on some records. If he gets the breaks down, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yep. How are you, Ultra Mag?
I'm chilling, man. It's January. The weather is not really cold, so the lesser that is cold, I'm good.
Yeah, it was nice today. They are calling for snow out here on Saturday, which sucks, but oh well.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, don't bring it to New Jersey.
It was raining here all day.
Was it? Oh, again,
Yep.
Tony, we're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
lied.
They lied. Yeah. Well, tonight, Flatline's on vacation. So shout out to Flatline, Hip Hop Gods. Yeah.
We
He's
did
on
not know that.
vacation.
He's on a little trip. A little New Year's trip. Yeah. So yeah. Shout out to Flatline Hip Hop Gods.
Flat Lizzle.
And go check out the new episode of the Hip Hop Gods, the year-end wrap-up that I believe he dropped last night. Chock full of dope joints. So, yeah. But tonight we're still gonna take it to the northwest side, a little more northern. To an MC that this guy is gonna be like the most prolific MC in the universe. I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm gonna ask him if there's anybody more prolific than him, but I think he's the guy. So, I've been waiting to talk to him for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the show, Moka Only.
Whoop, whoop. Peace. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, thanks for being here, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yes, I got into your music around 2000, I think, because somewhere, and I don't remember where it was, but I heard Good Time Stack.
Yeah.
And I immediately ordered this album, and I was like, "Shit, this guy's dope." And then there was just like I couldn't keep up with all the music that you put out.
Well, that one's a special one to me. That was through the 90s, I did a lot of tapes and CDs and stuff, but it was like real basement, like Living Legends style and stuff. And shout out to Cats, by the way. That was one of my first where I kind of broke out of the camp where I was in, and I've struck up this P&D deal with this label and distributor, and did my own label for that one. So that was a lot of fun. I think I made that album in about a week or two.
Wow.
And it kind of shows too. It's a little rough around the edges, but that's what I like about it.
I mean, it's dope to me, and I never would have guessed it, So it just feels like that's what you were trying to do. So
it was a good time, man. Good time for stacking.
Yeah. And also I appreciated all the train references and stuff on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I always dug that. So, but yeah. So your output is, first and foremost, I got to ask, your output is amazing. I mean, you have, I don't know how many records. Have you kept track?
I saw it on my Wikipedia page recently, and I don't know if it's wrong or what, but it was like 115 projects or something. I don't know what exactly, you know what I mean? Wow. And keep in mind, like it's not really my aim. I just don't know what else to do but make music.
Right.
And the years keep rolling by, and the more stuff comes out. But I have slowed it down a bit. It's kind of funny because, let's say like 20 years ago or even 15 years ago, I used to have people in my ear, telling me I was doing the wrong thing by being so prolific. And now it seems to be like the model du jour. This is what Cass is doing now.
Yeah.
In a time where I've slowed down. And now I'm watching, saying whether it's anybody from like the Griselda or whomever. I see it. My man Planet Asia, he got a whole bunch of new stuff coming out. And I was talking to him about that recently. I told him the same thing. I'm like, I used to get a hard time for that, and now I think you have to do it also to keep afloat in the era of streaming too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You were just ahead of the curve.
Discogs has you at 156.
That's impossible. But you know what? You know what? They're probably counting like EPs or singles or even like collaborative efforts too, right?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody else out there who has more than me, whose name is not Frank Zappa or whatever.
Right. Right.
Although it does say albums 89. So
okay. Well, I bet
albums 89, singles and EPs 62, compilations 4, miscellaneous 1.
Yeah, that just makes me sound like a real weirdo.
Appearances 132.
I know I've done more appearances than that, but you know, not everything hits Discogs too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how did you begin your hip hop journey? What got you into the music?
Probably the same story you've heard from a million other MCs. Grade school recess time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And keep in mind where I was at, like in the Northwest. It was a little like the first wave of hip hop took a little longer to get here. So I didn't really pick up on it until 83, 84, around that time. But it was in full swing at my grade school, elementary, where, you know, the cardboard came out at recess. I don't know where guys were getting these mixtapes from, because we're all kids too, right? We're talking grade 5, 6, 7. So that was my start, aside of what I had seen on television, you know, Grandmaster Flash and the regular Run DMC, obviously. It's kind of funny. From the outset, I just knew as soon as I witnessed hip hop that I knew I would have some part in it. Some voice told me, and being in an unlikely place was never a factor in my mind. That like never swayed me, because the more and more I found out about different hip hop artists and where they live, when I seen how many cats came from Long Island, in my mind I was like, well, if that can be a thing, then I can do it from where I'm from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that Long Island's far removed from the epicenter at all, but it gave me a little bit more courage to come out of like an unlikely place. But I would say like the thing that really set me off and made me start writing was Yo Bum Rush the Show. That was probably the biggest thing to land in my world in 87. And that kind of solidified my decision in really taking the step and trying to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I was listening to that today.
BDP, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. It was the grade school experience, and starting off as a fledgling graffiti writer myself, and just wanting to immerse myself in every bit of the culture that came my way.
Yeah.
So I'm talking between like 86 to 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the Canadian scene doing? Like what is at that time period also? Like was it starting?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, because being in the Pacific Northwest, or, you know, in British Columbia, I wasn't really privy to what was happening on the East Coast in Canada, because all you ever seen was what was happening in New York or LA.
Okay.
You'd be lucky to see if anything from like Midwest or the South, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think I really became aware of what was happening in a place like Toronto, which is on the East Coast, probably until 89 or whatever. Maestro Fresh West, Me She Me, cats like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where I was, really wasn't a lot happening. Not in Vancouver area, Vancouver Island. There really wasn't too much happening. It was like a handful of us, but I liked that. I liked that. That was cool. It, you know, to feel like you were part of a really small exclusive club.
Were you always a solo artist, or did you have a crew at the outset?
I was solo to begin with. I I was inducted into a crew called Sound Advice Crew out of Victoria, BC, and this was in '89. So that was my first time like really being in the studio and trying to make some concentrated songs besides the pause tape thing.
Right.
And I don't even know if I have any of the old pause tape stuff left. It was horrible, but but you know, at that time, you know, I was trying to figure out my voice, my style through influences and all that. So I've listened recently to some of the '89 stuff, and it definitely there's like a bit of everything, like Rakim, Jungle Brothers, like all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when De La dropped, it was like, all right, I really have a spot in this thing. You know what I'm saying? That shit was so bugged out to me. Then I felt a whole lot more at home. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, to put it short, there wasn't really a whole lot happening. There was just a few groups and crews, and that ballooned exponentially by the mid '90s.
Right. Did you when did you get your first equipment, like production equipment?
Up until 1999, I was just using other cat stuff. I go to somebody else's basement studio and do the best I can, or we collaborate on beats, or I, you know, get somebody to engineer because I didn't have the gear. It would take me forever to figure it out. I'd bring records or figure out the samples or whatever. And in 1999, toward the end of the year, I got a publishing deal from EMI, and that's when I finally had some dough and I could buy the studio. So I still have a lot of that equipment now. That was it. And I just really wanted to be my own beat guy. I didn't like having to wait around for people or to bug other cats for beats. So that was like the big turning point. 99 was a huge turning point in a lot of ways. It's also when I started like really like breaking out, like and starting to be heard around the world, albeit in a very underground capacity,
Right.
which kind of remains to this day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Right. What and you were part of Swollen Members for a while, correct?
Yeah. That was so we made that up. That was in 1995. And I was a solo artist, and also I had this group with Prevail from Swollen Members called Split Sphere. We never ended up putting out anything. It just, you know, the time went on, and we decided to try out this 4-man crew. It was Mad Child, Prevail, myself, and this local DJ named Kilo C. So I would say 2 months into that, I just started having second thoughts about it, cold feet or whatever, and I just decided to keep it solo. So they kept on doing their thing. I rejoined the group for a period of time in 2001 until 2004. And we had some great success. It was real cool, but it was musically definitely a lot different from what I always done, right, as far as influences and what we did. But I like that, you know what I mean? Jumping into different areas, that experimentation musically, that's all cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about then 99 and the big turning point for you. I'm gonna guess that the internet played a part in that.
Nah, I was super late to the internet, man.
Okay.
and I didn't want to embrace it. Like, it took me a long time to get around to even wanted to mess with it, you know what I mean? I probably didn't get my first laptop until 2003.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you're right though. I mean, I for other people that were already like internet savvy, I'm sure I was able to gain some ears through the internet, but I don't know. I used to diss that shit in raps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought it would really take off as far as the hip hop and like the culture of it too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 99 was crazy, man. Everything turned around for me, and I was starting to make money and be able to travel, be invited to do shows and all of that. It was a real special time. Yeah. And also, you know, that was like arguably like the last great era or stand in hip hop before it all imploded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, that's just the world, you know. But you can blame the internet for just about everything.
Right, sure.
That's a big topic, so we won't even really go deep into that.
You're right. Right. No, I was thinking, you know, because thanks to the internet, that's how I found you, you know. I think it was
love it and hate it, man. I mean, there's a lot of artists I probably found through the internet too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's as I adopted it and embraced it later on, it became, you know, a good weapon in my cachet.
Yeah.
Still don't love it, but you know, there's things I like about it.
Yeah.
Like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So nowadays we're in this time and age where a lot of our heroes, big or small, you know, we have these platforms, and I'm really truly grateful for it. You know, it allows a lot of the world to catch up to what we've always been about.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. It's also great. It's also great that we can share, you know, an artist such as yourself, your stories. You know.
Yeah, I need it, man. I'm like about this big in the world of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm truly grateful.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'd say you're a little bigger than that.
I was gonna say I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It depends who you ask, though, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a fan of somebody, obviously, you know, in your world, that artist is going to seem much more monumental. But I also have to be a realist and keep my ego checked about it too, and that helps keep me hungry and wanting to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back around that time, you were working with a couple of different labels, right? What was the label situation like with you?
Well, through Swollen Members, they had the Battle Axe Records, so, and they had done deals with numerous guys on the West Coast or guest appearances. I mean, everybody from Del the Funky Homo Sapien, AC Alone, Son Doobie of Funk Dubious, Abstract Rude, Mr. Brady. And so I had a couple things come out on Battle Axe Records, but I also had my freedom to put anything out with whomever I wanted. And I'm glad of that. I've taken great advantage of that through the years. And even to this day, you know, I have a home label, Urbnet Records, and they're out of Toronto. And yeah, that's my home, but I have the freedom to do anything I want outside of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You've been with Urbnet for a handful of years now.
Yeah. I think since 2005, something like that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. But around the turn of the millennium, you know, it was either I was just doing totally independent stuff like I was talking about before, or with Battle Axe. Yeah. Wherever I could get in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you're hungry, like you'll make some compromises too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
You've got in a lot of places, because I remember when I had so I think I had like a Swollen Members album. I mean, obviously you weren't in the group then. And then I remember a buddy of mine told me about, he's like, you need to check out Moka Only. So I got around to it, and I'm like, and I saw this catalog, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, and then I dove in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What? Damn it. I'm sorry. I had it. When did you start doing the Martian Christmas records?
2004.
That was the first one.
So now, like, I just released the 19th one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This year coming up will be the 20th. So I'll have to do something special, man. I might have to do something out of the box for that. Or like a compilation along with the regular issued one or something like that. But yeah, 2004. That was somebody got in my ear that year, in that summer of 2004, and suggested I do like some sort of Christmas theme thing. And I think it was based on a drawing I had done of some Martian or something. Like, oh, you should. Oh, it was Madchild from Swollen Members who said it. It's like, you should do an album. You should do like a Martian Christmas album. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But it kind of stayed grinding in my head. So when fall came around, I decided to do it. I had this concept, like it was a lot more literal then, right? The first one, it was a little bit more like Christmas themed, and I was kind of unsure about it, but I put it out anyway, and I had such a response from it that I've just kept it going.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've kept it going every single year, and it's something I look forward to. And you know, for a select amount of my fans, is something they really look forward to. I don't think everybody gets it. I think even like the title might make people wary about it.
Right.
It's not a Christmas album. There's never been a Christmas album, even, you know, save for the first one. It's like a winter theme album.
Right.
I'll make allusions to Christmas, but it's also something that's supposed to bring us right through the new year and make our way out of winter.
Well,
Right.
It's also like the weirdest thing that I do in my you know, ongoing series or LPs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately it's the one thing that I do that never ends up on vinyl because of the turnaround time.
Yeah,
Now,
I was gonna ask how far ahead do you work on those?
I can't even get into it unless it starts to feel like winter, and here it's never really winter, so it's, you know, and once the rain hits or any sort of like colder inclement weather, I'm good to go. So that's usually like the first week of November, and then the label's always like by the second week of November, that's when I have to turn it in. So I usually have like a week or two at best to create a project from scratch. That's all the beats, all the rhymes, all the mixing, I'm doing everything, you know what I'm saying? And for anybody who knows, you know, if you're an independent artist and you want to have vinyl, I mean, you're looking at months and months of turnaround time.
Yeah.
So it's just never worked out, but we always put it out on cassette and compact disc, and these things sell like hotcakes. Why is that? I'm not saying it's just me. I just mean in general, it seems like these collectible items that the artists have, they just sell quick. And the tapes are always the first thing to go.
The tapes, man.
Yeah.
I tried to poll some people, like do a poll on Twitter or X or whatever. I don't know what X, and asking like, what do you guys do with the tapes when you guys buy my tapes? Like what was happening with that? 98% of the people they just like to have something. It's almost like a art object. They just put it on. They don't have cassette players.
Yeah.
Ultra is sitting on a table and a chair made of cassette tape.
No, he's not at the moment. But
that was last year's. I don't
that's
have
dope.
The new one. Yeah. But yeah, that turnaround time is this. Every time I do the Martian Christmas, I'm always stressed out because I'm like, am I gonna pull it off? You know what I'm saying? Like, and trying to get guests happening. And this year, unfortunately, my recording system completely died, so I was left scrambling, looking for a new recording system. I'm super old. I don't like to use any computer or anything like that, you know. So I had to find something suitable, like a multi-track recorder. That's what I've been using, a Roland for the last 20 years. And it died, and not a lot of companies making that type of thing anymore.
Right.
So I finally did find a replacement, but it was right when I started recording for the new Martian Christmas. And I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, only is in like the sonic sense or audio or whatever, because I'm trying to figure out how to mix on something that's a little more substandard than what I'm used to. So hopefully by next year I'll have that all straightened out and have a replacement for my original Roland unit. Yeah, because I don't want to do the computer route. I don't like that. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Hey,
wow.
You got to be comfortable with how you work.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the lab. I'm in my lab right now. It's all just outboard gear, and it probably always will be.
Wow.
I can't find a flow, like a workflow on a computer. I go to other cats' studios and I see how they do it, and it makes sense in my mind, but I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm stubborn.
Yeah, no,
But
I get it.
it maintains that sound too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's that analog, that warmth, that you lose with a lot of with digital. So that's, it's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's my stubbornness and my unwillingness to change that has a lot more to do with it. It's the truth,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
hey, I've used Reason for the Reason software for like 20 some years now, and I've messed with other stuff, but I work quickest with that, and it's like, you know, it slows down the creativity. So I totally understand it. You know?
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to. How used to you are to your tool. Pause.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly.
There's
Yes.
no way around that.
But yeah, I never would have thought that we see the tapes come back.
Oh
So
shit!
What is
Here we
that?
go.
that's was it patina?
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Which I gotta is it HerbNet that came up with the packaging, or do
Yeah.
you have a hand in this?
I have a hand. We with everything we go back and forth until I have to be satisfied with it, obviously. Every once in a while they'll put something out without my knowledge and I'll get I'll have some words, but no. HerbNet's been great, man. It's like they let me do anything for real. I'm probably like the only artist on the label that has given them the output and also like the weirdest material probably out of the whole roster of artists that they have. They probably let me put out an album of farts or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, alrighty.
Yeah, put it out on tape and
saying.
it'll sell out, you know?
Yeah, don't be waiting for that. I'm just saying, like I've approached them with concept album ideas and sometimes just a test to see what they say about it. I'm like, yo, let me do an album where like I do the beats, but I'm just whistling, and I got a character. It's gonna be Chirp, the Illy Whistler, and they're like, yeah, go for it. We had all kind of wild concepts. I also had this idea. I was like, you know what we should do? Everybody always got this like release date for new this, that. Really, I said, how about we officially unrelease some albums? And they were like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, well, we build up an advertising, like a little marketing campaign and choose a date. And we're going to unrelease the Patina album on August 24th. And you know what I mean? Just like,
wow.
Just stupid concepts like that just to create a buzz, right? Yeah. And then you can re-release them shortly after.
Right. Well, that's no different than what Disney used to do with they put movies out on VHS tape and then they'd be like, yeah, it's only available for another month, and then they recall the shit,
right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all I'm saying is if we had more capital and money, like there'd be no end to like the weird shit I could do, but I gotta make do with what I got right now, you know what I mean? It's not like I don't even really try to be weird. It's just like you gotta have as an artist, I think we all have a sense of humor like somewhere within us, and mine just seems to usually be like kind of prominent. I got all kind of psychological issues and stuff, man, all my life. So it's like that's what did Q-Tip say? Laugh to keep from crying, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was do you still perform live at all? You still do shows?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be straight up. As when the COVID thing happened, I liked it. Like I was like, oh, good. No more 10, 12-hour flights and across the ocean to do shows where people actually come to shows. And you know what I'm saying? It was like a nice vacation for me. And then, this past year, the reality set in is I should probably get back to doing that. I just haven't yet.
Yeah.
I've turned down a lot of offers and I'm quite comfortable just being in the studio and creating stuff.
Yeah.
So if somebody's got a good show and, they like well curated, then I'm all for it. But in the immediate future, I can't foresee me slugging it out on the road for 2 months at a time or whatever. I think that ship has sailed.
Gotcha.
But anything could change,
Yeah.
I'm open to the idea of being back out on the road, but in a much more limited capacity. because I just want to make stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What?
Yeah.
Where did you where are the best places that you played reception wise? Like,
Well, just about anywhere in America is cool. You know, west or east. South, surprisingly, is always like a lot of, you know, I guess some of us have it in our mind that like this type of hip hop music or boom bap or whatever you want to call it isn't going to go over as well in the South, but it always does.
yeah.
Canada's pretty dead, which is funny. You know, the second biggest country in the world. I would say it's on its way back, but it in my opinion, it went through a long sort of gestation period or something where I wasn't even really trying to check for Canada outside of Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Victoria, or whatever. So there's more options now. And also, I think we are in an era where now, fortunately, where people seem to really be coming out to shows and they want to be dazzled by freestyle wizardry, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good time. It's a good time. Anywhere overseas is pretty much a go, whether it's the UK or any European country. I mean, like all the way, like Poland even, you know, I've been all over the place. I would say Japan's still strong.
Yeah.
I went to Australia once and that was overwhelmingly good, but I haven't been back there since 2001 or 2 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But my favorite, I don't know. I like France or Germany probably. Yeah, as far as the overseas stuff go.
Yeah.
People are hungry. They're ravenous for it. You know, it don't matter that they it's not their first language. Like they get it.
Yeah.
They'll be in the front row reciting your stuff verbatim and you're getting excited over the most like obscure cuts. It's wild to me. It's really wild to me.
Speaking of that, what at your live shows, what do you normally, I mean, you have the catalog to pull from. What do you usually, what are you doing?
Okay, let's say I had a tour for like 2 weeks. I kind of make it my objective to I want to do a different show every night.
Wow.
And it keeps me on my toes. So, you know, prior to the trip, I'll do a whole bunch of memorizing and maybe I'll make a folder of music to go over and refamiliarize myself with it. I might bring some electronic gadgets with me, or I might bring a trumpet, like a pocket trumpet or something, and just fly by the seat of my pants every night and see what happens. You know, you really have to learn to read the crowd and almost play the crowd like an instrument. I've found anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, most of the time it's going to go over, and then some of the time it's going to be a stinker. You know.
Right.
And most of the time it's cool, but yeah, I've had some stinkers, you know, where you trying to like orchestrate the crowd, like, and I probably got that idea from like old Frank Zappa films and stuff, and seeing how he carried on his shows, you know.
Yeah.
He really was like a conductor, like orchestrating, like making people, using people as props, whatever. I'll use anything as props, throw some humor in, and just hope for the best. I want every show to be different. I never want to do the same set.
Wow.
Because look, let's be real. I have to entertain myself. If I'm not entertaining myself and happy, I really feel like the crowd, like people aren't stupid. Actually, no, everybody, there is a lot of stupidity, but the people that come to underground hip hop shows, you know, it's a real refined, it's a certain taste, right?
Yes.
You can't fool nobody, you know. Maybe you can. I don't know. All I'm saying is I want to do something that's interesting for me. You know.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, I have to live with myself, right? So I don't want to just be doing the same okie dokie. Like, here's the 10 songs I do every night, and I can do them with my hands tied behind my back. No, I want to have problems and challenges. I want to like fuck up and have to go freestyle and all that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, man. I'll do a whole show freestyle. I don't care.
Wow.
I can remember the most memorable. You're onto something there, because the most memorable concert I ever went to was, and you guys are going to go, who? Nina Hagen. and Nina Hagen,
Yeah.
Who?
German
Nina
punk
Hagen.
rocker.
Okay.
Okay.
And all I remember is we were at this little, I don't even remember where it was, but it was on Santa Monica in Hollywood. And the Troubadour or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All I remember, and this is the only thing I remember about this entire show, was she got so high. This was like 84, 85, whatever. And the rest of her show, she was talking about aliens coming, and you had to go under the tables because the aliens wouldn't go under the tables. I will never forget this. And it was 40 years ago.
Yeah. Did you go under the table though?
No. No.
I would have played along for sure.
Yeah.
She did. He did. Trust me, she did. But yeah, she yeah, I'll never forget it. So even like your stinkers, as you call them,
Yeah.
somebody remembers.
Somebody remembers. Yeah. And that's all it takes sometimes. You know, the power of one person, the power of the word travels, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the airport series.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, maybe not.
No, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do
No,
it.
I'm just curious if it started out.
I don't
as-
even know why my response was like that. So
Why you were like, oh God.
He said, "Oh no."
well, you know
Great.
what? Yeah, okay. I just to preface that, man, it's like I felt it was a cool idea at first, and I felt like I got up to number 6, and I felt like I ran it into the ground. I didn't really want to just keep that theme going, and that's the most requested. That's the most requested like album series that I get asked about to this day.
Oh wow!
When's the Airport 7 coming?
Wow.
I just say, don't hold your breath because I don't know when it's coming. But when I started it, that was everything to me. I love that. That was all it was. The initial idea for that was just to kind of the same thing I do with the Martian Christmas. Let me do an album project where the theme is around traveling and being worldly and quite literally airports, and even the artwork reflected that.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It was also like I wanted to be my spring album. So in the same way Martian Christmas is like my November, December album, my winter album, the airport thing was also meant to be the spring album. But, you know, it got to a point where I can only keep so many of these series going, and it ends up feeling predictable, and, you know, I think about all this stuff too much, clearly.
No, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It was a lot of fun. I'll say like the first 3 of them I'm really into. I like the subsequent 3 as much, but the first one is like I was at least sticking with the concept.
Right.
And by the time I got to number 6, you know. Now number 6 is special to me, don't get me wrong. I got Trugoy on there.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing. And I remember when that came about, like I had made an announcement on Twitter. I was in the midst of working on it, and it'd be out like soon or whatever. And Trugoy hit me up, inboxed me. He's like, "Yo, what's up with number 6? We need that." I'm like, "Word?" She's like, "Yeah, what's up with it?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, like that. All right, well, let's go." Yeah, he's like, "Can I get on it?" And it was the first time I've been had somebody ask me to get on my album.
Wow.
And I wasn't gonna say no. That's Trugoy. That's like one of my biggest heroes of all time.
Yeah.
So he was super gung ho, man. He was like, we had toured before, but I never really, you know, fostered a relationship with him, you know what I'm saying? But about that time when I was putting together Airport 6, like we were definitely going back and forth. And it was real cool. He had that joint back to me the next day.
Oh, wow.
I remember instructing him. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love you, man, but don't be afraid to get a little bit weirder on this one. Like, you know, think back, like Balloon Mind State era or whatever. And he definitely did that. And I remember him getting at me like, he's like, "Yo, we're working on a new De La album. It's like, oh, we like to get you, involved with that, like on the production tip." So that's what happened. I sent him a whole lot of beats and all that. And, he's like, we're real picky. So if nothing gets chosen, you don't feel no way about it. I'm like, yeah, I understand. I mean, I've been through that rodeo before. But just to have him asked me and talk to the other guys about it, just to be considered was like, to me, that's like a Grammy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Sorry to deviate from the topic of the airport.
No. That's
something I haven't talked about a whole lot. I've had the fortune to work with a lot of my heroes, and I got stories for days, but I also never want to rely on other people for what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like the name dropping and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
No, but that's a story I would have liked to share in a much broader way. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That
I remember when my son was, I played the shit out of that album because my son was like Davey, my oldest. He was a baby. He was only 1 year old. And so that was our lunchtime music, man. I put that on. But I remember the first time I heard it and True Boy came on. I was like, oh shit, this is wow.
That was my intention. I wanted people to be like, what the hell,
Yeah.
And I I asked him, I remember I saying, how do you want me to bill you? Like, he's like, oh, just bill me however. And I was like, oh, let me just bill you as Plug 2. I didn't want to like upset the apple cart and like whatever weird label situation it was having. And I thought it would just be easier that way. So yeah, it just says featuring Plug 2. Wow. Good enough for me, man. I mean, anybody who's anybody knows what I mean if I just say Plug 2.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that's a bucket list one. That's a bucket list one. I have a few of those. Having Grand Poobah on the song was like a big thing to me. MF Doom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's weird, man. It seems that everybody I work with croaks, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, Grand Poobah's still here.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be funny about that. It's just like it's happened a number of times.
Yeah.
Right.
Weird. Even with like Batin from Slum Village, like we were set to do a whole bunch of things. Like I have a little side group I did for a while called The Nope. It's with this other MC, Dave Sy, and he had been chopping it up with Batin a whole lot. I talked to him, and he wanted to join the group. So all right, cool. That'd be a really weird combo, but let's do it. And and suddenly he passes away right when we're about to really get underway.
Man.
Yeah. It's just
Batin was great, man.
Batin had the best voice inflections.
Obviously, everybody gives, Dilla has the most light in that group, and rightfully so. Sure. But if we're talking about rhythm and cadence and pocket,
woo,
Batin.
Batin. Hands down.
You know what?
Feels like if I had to guess, and I never talked to T3 about this or even Dilla back then, but it seems like as far as like rhythm, pocket and stuff, that it seems like Batin had a lot to do with that, maybe steering the group in that direction. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Man, his timing
was the best.
Crazy. His timing and like, doing weird voices. I found that like highly influential. You know what I'm saying? I still do that stuff sometimes.
And the way that he would take his verses, they would start one and then just like wind through and just end up in places.
Yeah, he started in places where like, a rapper wouldn't normally start. You know what I'm saying? Half a bar ahead or whatever. Yep. Yeah.
And when you listen to a Slum song, JD, he's on the topic, T3's on the topic, and then when you get to Batin, he's somewhere else, but it still fits in it. It still fits in the song.
Like astral projection type stuff.
I miss that guy, man.
But always bring it back like real street too at the same time.
Yep. Batin, brother, come back to earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
And he said some wild stuff, like, like, from a bitch with a dick who got a clit pulsating. Like, yo, rewind that.
So what?
Yeah.
How did the Dilla connect happen?
How did that happen? Oh man, I'm having a brain freeze or something. I think I just reached out to him. I don't know if I went through the label or I don't know. It's kind of like in my mind, it was just there suddenly, and all of a sudden he's sending me CDs to choose beats from or whatever.
Wow.
But where I was, like, I couldn't afford a whole lot of them shits, right?
Yeah.
And his management was, trying to quote me one price, and Dilla was actually real cool and just he let it go for peanuts, really. But yeah, I think it must have been. I must have approached through the label because that was kind of like the way back then. This is prior to all the social media and all that. This is 2002. We're talking, right?
Right.
And I remember he wanted me to come out to Detroit to record with him, and for whatever reason, I wasn't into that. And I don't know. I guess in a lot. He seemed like a real private type of person, and I always really have been. So I was like, yo, I'll just record here. You know what I mean? I had a lot going on at the time, and I don't know, man. It's just I didn't really know the dude. So to have that invite was very humbling, but I just felt I have a better go at it just doing it at my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's big stupid regret right there. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I have gone to the house like much later on, like through his younger brother, Illa J.
Yeah,
Shout out to Illa. We done a whole lot of work over a period of time, and that kind of happened through Frank and Dank, who I've been cool with since the early 2000s. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that was a big moment, man. Big moment. It was a lot of people still that were not up on the Dilla thing or didn't understand it. Or whatever, but myself included, like in the 90s, like I wasn't really aware of him. I wasn't aware of what was going on. Not until like probably 1999, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And it was funny as far as like the experimentation with drum feel and all that. I kind of been doing it a little bit already in a different way. I had this cat that I work with. Shout out to my man DCO. He's still going strong. He's a beat maker, production head. And we were doing a bunch of stuff around 1997 through 99. And when I first went to his studio, and he's a Vancouver cat, by the way, just for a little background there. He showed me a bunch of beats he had, and they were all off. I was like, what's going on with the drums and stuff? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it's like the feeling it doesn't always match the samples, but like in a good way.
Right.
He's like, oh, I don't like to use the quantize. I said, why? He's just as soon as I got this sampler, which was a Kurzweil K2000, he said it's just easier to use without the quantization thing. And I didn't really get it, but I went through that, and he was really pushing the limit. Some of his drums were like wild. So on some of my late 90s tapes, you definitely hear that, and that was a big influence to me too. I started doing it, and then when I became aware of the Dilla way, it was like, all right, let me try to merge my style with that without trying to take too much from it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's wild because in the last 10 years, we just seen a whole bunch. It's almost like its own genre.
Yeah.
Like this whole Dilla thing, and I don't know. It made me not want to even go near doing that, and I've tried to really distance myself from, but I don't want to sound like nobody, you know what I'm saying, except for maybe Keith.
You're right. Which I can't fault you for. Yeah,
but it's just interesting. It's like I think Dilla like really perfected that feel.
He did.
And for all intents and purposes, he's definitely known as the creator of it. But there's other cats that tried to, or went, moved in that direction, including Q-Tip himself. I swear I heard stuff he like that song from '93, 1-2 shit featuring Busta Rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You listen, I think that stuff, it sounded a little bit off. The snare sounded a little early, and just in hindsight, I think other cats have definitely like tried their hand at it, but Dilla put the stamp on it.
And Dilla's, anytime Dilla did it, it still sounded right, even though it was off.
Yep.
Some of these other guys, it sounds off,
Yeah, well, even Dilla had there was a few. I can remember there was, what was the one? I think it was called Beej and Them.
Oh
Beej
yeah.
Oh, Welcome to Detroit album.
Yeah.
No. The
from Volume 1. From Volume 1. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And not only did it have like the bugged out sample to sound like somebody rehearsing in another room on piano,
Right.
but it had the most impossible drums to flow to, and somehow he made it work.
Yeah. I gotta go back and listen to that again. It's been a minute since I've heard Fantastic.
The same. That one stick out in my head.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, you can do that. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I would say definitely Dilla been a guiding force as far as the concept of you can mess with the timing. There's a lot more that you can do with production, or you could just keep it simple and bare bones, because he sure did his lion's share of that too. Like, let's just filter the bass line and have it over some drums and call it a night.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the most effective way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very true.
I got my favorites though. I got a definite list of favorite producers for sure.
Well, let's go through that list, man. You brought it up. Let's do it.
All right. Tip, I think to me, Q-Tip will always be like the top echelon, followed close by Dilla, clearly. I mean, like, you can hear the influence, especially that tribe influence, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Shock G, big one.
Oh, good call.
Shock G, I have to say, Diamond, of course, Diamond for sure.
Yeah.
Pete Rock. There's a lot of obvious names, but there's some unobvious names too. A+ from Souls of Mischief.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Actually, that whole camp. I mean, everybody kind of messed with Beats a bit.
Yeah.
Dell, because when they came out, like, that sound was purely them, not just their rhyming, but their approach on beat making. It was them doing it all, except for like the stuff that Dante Ross did.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot, man. Even to like when Yag Fu came out, that album was highly influential among my crew when that stuff came out. Like 94, we was just Yag Fu this, Yag Fu that. Like, these guys is crazy. The beats was right up my alley, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm having some brain fog again. I'm sure there's a million other names that will pop up that are like influential producers, but
I'm sorry, who?
Stuff like that, like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, who?
Yag Fu front. Yag foul, y'all.
Yag foul,
It's the
y'all.
Yag foul, y'all.
Yeah. You got it started.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Who are we talking about?
Well, I would imagine De La with Prince Paul.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Africa Baby Bam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a lot, there's too many to name, but I feel that there's I don't know, I'm rambling. It's probably better I don't go off on a tangent. It's probably better that you
Oh no, this show is all about tangents.
Speaking of which, how did you find these guys? How did that happen?
All because of a busted loop.
Right.
A busted ass loop. No, actually, no. You go back before that.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Don't tell me
around
R.A. the Rugged Man.
I still can't find a record. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
can't find a contract.
Yeah, Contract. That was it.
Looking for
I
a
heard that on a
contract.
mixtape or something, and that was it. Piqued my interest right away.
Yeah.
It's like they seem to have like the same sensibilities as crew I was rolling with at that time. You know, like well-crafted hip hop with a little sense of humor, maybe self-deprecating a little bit.
Yeah.
Deprecating, not defecating.
Yes.
Maybe some of that too.
Pause.
But yeah, so when the tape came out, and I did say tape, I caught that immediately, like right when it came out, and in my crew was definitely impactful. But I remember it was always being played at the clubs here too.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Looking
You
for
know,
a contract
like
or busted loop?
all of it. The Yagfu stuff.
Yeah.
Left field was big in the
Yeah,
club.
left field.
Here.
Left field's the joint.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, these are specialized hip hop nights, but it's like you can't tell me that people won't dance to any tempo. They'll dance to anything. You know how many chicks I've seen get loose to like shook ones and stuff? Like people get down. If it got a beat, it's danceable.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. I remember that was a big one for sure. Yagfu.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just have to. He's probably going to kill me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. But a certain person named Damage said you're one of his favorite MCs.
They're one of my favorite too. Like this is why we talk about them. You know, it's a mutual thing, and I'm super blessed to have linked up with them. As I was saying before we started the live, I have an unreleased song with all of Yagfu on it, and the song was called Doo Doo Aftershock.
Sounds about right.
Total sense. Makes total sense.
Yeah, it was actually for the Note, which is me and my boy Dave Si's like little side group, which we're probably well overdue to drop another doo-doo. But
Right.
yeah, we linked up. I got them all on the joint. You know what I'm saying? We had to do it the internet styles, obviously, but it's some far out stuff. So at some point in time, the world will hear it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Maybe not.
Yeah. I'm fingers.
It's based on a Black Sheep sample where it was it long? I don't know. One of them was saying do 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 aftershock.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll make that the refrain after each of our verses. So it's some wild stuff, man.
That's great. Love shit like
And Damage's verse was the weirdest one. He goes into a story about it, like well, I don't want to give it away.
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
that. Can't wait. I think.
Oh man.
That's what it's so missing these days. That kind of just the fact to take a chance on something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't their story like initially? I don't know if I heard it directly from Django or Damage, or if it was through a publication. But wasn't the idea like their whole doing a group and getting a contract? Wasn't that just like a big experiment, just to see?
Yes, it was actually a paper one of them wrote in college.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like listen to an album just to like basically just get over on the world and
it was yep, it was totally a they were all in college, and Damage was at what is it, NCU what's the radio station?
Oh, the radio station.
And Spin and Jingle showed up one night in the middle of the night. He had no idea who they were. But by the time it was all over, said and done, they were becoming Yagfu Front.
Wow.
Yep. And to hear Damage tell it, once they put out Action Packed and the secret tapes, they were not going to come back for another 30 years. And so here we are.
Here we are.
So if y'all listening, Yagfu, get on it. It's time.
Yeah.
You need my assistance for anything, I got you.
There it is.
Hey, there you go.
Moka Only.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
Putting out the bat call, the bat signal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Oh, that's funny. That's what True Guy said when he reached out. He's like, "Yo, let me hit you on the bat line. I'm putting out the bat call." He literally said that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What were we gonna say, Ultra?
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh no, I wanted to go a different direction, and I wanted to ask Mocha because I know he's a skater. I'm a skater also, so I wanted to ask him two things.
Yeah.
Number one, like when you were developing your style, or who's your favorite skater? And number two, how did you feel like back in the day skating was like punk and hardcore, and then it turned to like hip hop? Like, how did you feel about that? So those two things.
Those are good questions. Real good questions. And I
Right.
definitely have like those are both things I've thought about, or the second one, obviously. As far as favorite skater, like we got to go with like which era, right? So I started skateboarding in '84 or '85.
Right.
So at that point, there was this cat Jeff Kendall was from Santa Cruz. He was that was one of the first guys I paid attention to, and then the Powell guys, obviously,
Right.
particularly TG Guerrero was a big
Tommy
one for me.
Guerrero. Yeah.
And like his style, like people used to say, "Oh, his contrived style," or like, but I don't know. I liked it. It looked like some surfing type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I became aware, as soon as I saw Nadas, even prior to seeing him in any videos or whatever, like this is like there's something, there's something about that cat, right? So as soon as you seen him, like in, I mean, what was it called? Well, first of all, I want to say it was, being a aspiring hip hop artist and also being a skateboarder that was some far out stuff back in the day in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? During, just like you said, when the general consensus of preferred music from skateboarders was punk rock,
Right.
which I didn't have no problem with. I thought the punk stuff was cool. I never really got super into it. I was more into jazz, Parliament, and hip hop, obviously. Yeah. So to get around to what you're saying about when all of a sudden they made the switch to start getting into the hip hop stuff, I did feel some ways about it. I couldn't tell if it was genuine, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed to only be like a certain type of hip hop that skaters first started getting down with, like in the videos, which was guys that I liked, don't get me wrong. But it's like, I wasn't seeing them getting into anything that was like socially political or, not a whole lot of that. And I don't know. Around 92 or so, I felt real like disenchanted with the whole skateboarding community, and I kind of like left it for a number of years. Didn't pick it up again until 99, 2000 or whatever. And by that time, it seemed like skateboarding had really like embraced hip hop in a bigger way. But I had my missing years where I felt like really distant from it, and I just had one objective on my mind, was to make it as a MC and producer. To the point where I felt, I don't know what this thing I went through with skateboarding in the late 90s, even when I started to pick it up kind of again. I remember like running into cats and just not even caring. I got into an elevator somewhere, and Lance Mountain and Steve Caballero were in the elevator.
Wow.
And, at first I kind of like, oh, wow. But I didn't even say anything. I was like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Which it was so weird, this thing I went through. I saw the Gons on the street in Vancouver just by himself doing hippie jumps over a chain fence. And I remember I was on my way to do a radio show thing. I go, oh, look, there's the Gons. Oh, well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, man. It was just, I just had like this tunnel vision, and the world of skateboarding, for some reason in my head, maybe, or in the subconscious, I felt like it had done me wrong or something.
Wow.
You know, I shook that off though. I shook that off and got serious about skating again from about 2004 through 2016. And now it's something I just play with occasionally, and, you know, out to the store, I do it to keep my body limber. You know, I'm 50 years old now, and I don't really have, obviously I don't have the same energy for that. And I don't want to bust my ass too much either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When did you start skating?
Like 80, I think like 85, because I was like a BMX guy, and then my bike the bike I had broke, and then it was like I still had this daredevil in me, and my mom was not going to buy me another $400 bike, so the skateboarder was like 100. So that I went that avenue. Yeah,
I can relate to that. You know, I wanted to be a BMXer so bad, and I couldn't. My parents wouldn't fade it. It was not a reality, and I didn't even think of looking around for a used one or trying to get one off some other kid. It just didn't seem like the reality. That's what I really wanted to do, but I also wanted to skate, and it just seemed a whole lot more practical.
Much more practical.
See, and y'all have that in common once again with Damage from Yag Fu
we started
Front.
at the same time as Wow.
Damage. You can, if you spend any time in Raleigh, North Carolina, you'll see him riding around on an electric skateboard.
Man, it's wild. Like, I feel like, especially on the West Coast, everybody secretly skated, like in hip hop. We've probably all seen the photographs emerge of like Eazy-E at skate parks and stuff.
Yeah,
with his skateboard. Yeah. That was wild to me, because Eazy was like, you know, going back to how we started the show about, like, you know, prominent people I was listening to. I should have said NWA, because that was a big one. Eazy to this day is like still a big hero of mine. But I found out throughout the years, like, all these cats secretly skateboarded. Like, I've gone skateboarding with like evidence from Dilated Peoples, like, more than once. And he can hold his own, you know what I'm saying? Abstract Room, like a lot of these cats, like from Good Life Associated, Heavyweights crew, Freestyle Fellowship crew associated, like, a lot of people skate secretly. Dell picked it up late. Dell's like an avid skateboarder.
That is so bugged out to me, because, like you're saying, at this age, all the tricks and stuff I used to do, like, if I break something at this age now, like, I can't have that. So to see Dell pick it up at such a later stage, and and it's so weird that, like, that community embraced him, and at the time, he wasn't a skater, but now to see that flip, it's crazy.
It's really wild, man. I mean, there was others too. I believe, like Dave Chappelle, I think skateboards, or did for a while. Most Def.
Right.
Yeah. May I present Exhibit A? Let's do this here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't see. What's he riding to? What skateboard is it?
Oh, I can't tell. I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Let's see.
Ultra, can you see it?
I need to.
He's probably not even riding it. It's probably they said stand here.
I know, it's still cool nonetheless.
You know what? That I'm trying to look at the. Would he be on an Alva? I'm trying to look at the nose. It's kind of.
I don't know. It's snot green on the underside.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Alva didn't make no green ones like that.
Oh yeah, he did. There were some wild like neon colored Alvas for sure.
Yep.
Actually, you're right. I think wasn't Jim Muir on Alva, and Aaron Murray. They had some weird boards.
Aaron Murray. Those guys was on Dogtown.
Who was on? Actually, you know what? I used to have a Chris Cook, Alva Chris Cook. That was my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a Chris.
Dave Duncan, TA, obviously. This guy Fred Smith.
Yeah.
Christian Hosoi was originally on Elva.
Yeah.
John Gibson, he was like a Texas skateboarder.
Wasn't Bill Danforth? Was he on?
Bill Danforth. Yo,
yeah, Bill Danforth.
check this.
Yeah.
This is wild, man. I did a show like in 2015, and Bill Danforth showed up.
What?
Wow.
He was loving it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just pulled that name out of nowhere.
Yeah. He was mad cool too, man. It's funny because like I remember that image that he had in the 80s. He looked like I didn't want to have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You remember what was it? You remember Grholski? Do you remember that?
Tom Grholski.
Yeah, so I'm from New Jersey. So he was like, he had that Jersey Devil board. So he was like the guy, like, oh, Tom Grholski. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, obviously you were probably like a Mike V fan then too, huh?
Oh, come on. With the elephant. I remember when that board came out. Oh, God. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's wild. I mean, that's a whole nother, that's like such a big topic too, and it's something I rarely get asked about when having hip hop talks and all that. So it's refreshing.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
All right. See, that gets enough about skateboarding.
I love the segues, man. That's great. Love that stuff. Yeah. That's all good.
I miss those days, man.
So do I. Like, I think about that more and more, probably in the last 10 years, it's on my mind more than it had been in the prior 20, you know what I mean?
Right.
I just went to look up that picture, and it actually, LL wrote, what do y'all think? Did I actually ride that thing?
Oh, God.
Photo op. LL photo op.
Yeah, photo op.
Yep.
It's interesting. It's like it makes me wonder, like, just how many more rappers and DJs and stuff, even on like the East Coast, like might have secretly messed around with skating. You know what I'm saying? Like, once in a while you'd hear a reference in a rap, like in Buckshot on the first album, on the first Black Moon, he said, "Get on my skateboard and do a motherfucking drive-by, you little crab ass flea." Yeah. Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that and I was like, does he really skate? No. But you never know. He might, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So you just had Martian Christmas 2023?
Yeah. And prior to Martian Christmas, I had In and of Itself.
Yes.
Which came out last June. And I love this album so much. That's my feelings about this album. Is like I'm gonna have a hard time following this one up.
Really?
What I felt about this.
Wow.
The majority of this album I made in 2021, and I don't know, just that era. I can't even define what was particularly special about that. I mean, it was totally within like the COVID time or whatever, but maybe that's what it was. I was having a lot more quiet. I just really got into that album, and I started working on the next, which I'm hoping will be out this coming June, but it's gonna be hard to top that one for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, if there were key records in your discography that like that you had to, how am I gonna come back?
I got there's a bunch that, like, first and foremost, before doing it for the world, like I really just do it so I have music to listen to. That's the main reason I do this stuff. I love it. I want to create a world that I can crawl into, and I can always listen to my own stuff. I would never put out something that I'm not happy with. I mean, it's happened a couple times. It's hard to avoid that, but in the time when I'm making it, like I gotta feel it. I gotta feel like it's something I can listen to all the time, right? So I have my favorites. Lowdown Suite from 2003. That's like a monumental one for me. Martian Christmas 2016. That's another big one for me. Martian Christmas 2020. 2022. Yeah, I got certain ones that like I always listen to, and I can just listen to any time of year. Like listen to it as if I'm listening to somebody else. Like separate myself, or just listen to it like it's a journal,
Yeah,
like a diary or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
You had a couple of releases. In the let's see, when was it? Like she ran away to Mexico to join the circus.
Oh God, I forgot to mention that. That's like my most listened to Moka Only album.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it says it was from 2001, but you didn't release it until 2020. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, because I had so much going on, and I had just rejoined the Swollen Members at that time, so it was a weird time to release that. I remember when I started making that, I was also making a Road Life 2, but that also never came out. But yeah, she ran away to Mexico to join the circus. Maybe that's my favorite album I've ever done.
Wow.
And the fact that I sat on it for 20 years before releasing it, it's just weird to me.
Right.
But, you know, it had to, I guess it had to marinate or something. You know, I like everything about that album. I like, and it was based on a true story.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good. So.
Yeah, I started dating this girl, and right around the time I started making tracks for that album. This was all this is October 2001, you know, right after 9/11 and all that, and everybody's just like searching for something to like get over that memory and all that, and I just jumped right into creating. I was working on like 4 albums at the time, but that was my main focus, and I started dating this chick, and when I met her, she's like, you know, I'm gonna be going to Mexico. I'm joining a circus. I'm like, what? For real? She explained it. It's not quite as wild as it sounds like in the title, but it's a true thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of, if you listen to the songs, it's all really telling a story about this particular affair I had that really only lasted a month at best. But you know, I never kept.
Oh. No.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Moka!
Come back.
Finish the story.
Is she back from Mexico? That's what
She's still in the circus.
Oh my God, Moka.
Damn it.
Wherefore art thou, Moka?
Oh,
There he is.
you're back.
No?
Maybe.
Maybe I had
Oh no.
Oh yeah, if he's on his phone, he might have got a call.
maybe got a call.
Yeah.
Don Key says blame Bell Canada.
Ma Bell with the ill communication.
My bell.
Ma Bell.
Keep it on.
What the hell?
Oh, that's like one of the best Beastie Boys songs ever.
I know. You know the story behind that, right? How they put that song together? Because I always thought, I'm like, I always thought it sounds like Q-Tip is totally freestyling.
Oh yeah, he was freestyling, right?
Yeah, he was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hooked up with them and they started smoking and he got high and he went and freestyled all that stuff and then they wrote their verses around what he freestyled.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did a video of that song with Joni and Chachi. I need to find and put back out.
I remember that. Yeah.
I need to redo that. All right.
Wait, what was the one you put up today?
What did I put up today?
Oh shit.
Oh, a Bismarcky with
yes.
with
Fat Albert and the Cosby
Fat
Kids.
Albert. Yeah,
Yes.
Swade Simpson. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yes. Yeah.
And the song that they play, like, you know, when the Junkyard Gang does a song.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the best song. Soap and water. Oh. Toothbrush and a comb. Like, yo, that's the dopest song.
That's gonna be my new producer name. Yeah.
Yeah. Soap and
Wade
water.
Simpson.
Oh, Swade Simpson.
Yeah, Simpson.
I'll be soap and water. Be Swade Simpson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait a
Because I'm
minute.
gonna make those dirty, nasty beats. You know,
Toothbrush and a comb. What are we?
dirty, nasty. Beats.
So, C-Doc, when we do our
Blackie?
album, you'll be Swade Simpson and I'll be
There we
soap
go.
and water.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wait a minute.
That's totally.
You're forgetting. The actual new rap group is. Come on now.
Oh, we can't say that on air. Jennifer, we can't say that on air. Oh, Jennifer, we can't say that on air. Yes. Jennifer and I have a rap group, but
I heard about it, yes.
Oh, yeah. We'll just keep that between us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We won't make it very far with that title. We lost Moka Only.
No, wait, he's back.
He's back.
Yo, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. You didn't know if you got a call or something.
No, I didn't get no calls.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened. But it was right in the middle of the story. We lost you. It was like,
Oh my God! Did she come back?
Yeah.
Did she?
Right. Is she still in the circus? You know.
I don't know. She came back like 3 months after that or something, and it's that ship has sailed at that point. It was just that it was what it was. It made for a cool album title.
Yeah.
Was it more like I'm running away to join the circus? Like I have to wash my hair tonight.
Yo, this chick was like a nurse. Like she was like a registered nurse at a hospital. So I remember when she told me she was gonna do that. It seemed like some. I don't know. It just seemed like some midlife crisis type stuff. But yeah, she was like, we were in our 20s, so I don't know what that was about.
Right.
Something she just had to do. You know what I mean? And when she came back, it's just like, I know what happens in them traveling circuses. I heard stories. Anyway. Yeah. And wild stuff can happen in the circus.
That's right. Never know.
Yeah. Wow.
In your production process, because I see the wax behind you.
Yeah.
Do you still is that your primary sources of inspiration, pulling from, sampling, yada yada, or are you open to anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's like my main source of inspiration, but at the same time, I just compose a lot of my stuff from the ground up, and I've always done it that way. And mix it with samples wherever I feel like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a even blend, 50-50, whatever. But I'll go straight from YouTube as well. And the stuff I look for on YouTube, like I look for some unlikely sources, like maybe like some kid who's got their first drum kit in the basement and they're just messing around and trying to get a feel for it. I'll just yank those, yoink, boom.
Right.
Take some kid drumming and disassemble it in the sampler and rework it, or field recordings, whether they're my own or something I encounter on YouTube. As long as I hear something that sounds remotely musical that's in the vein of the way I'm thinking, then I'll go for it.
What's your lyric process writing like?
My what?
Your lyric writing process.
Lyrics. It's kind of like the same. Well, in what way do you mean?
Where are you pulling from? How do you start? Or or like for example, when we had Cool Keith on, he said, I write every day.
Yeah,
is it that sort of thing?
That. I don't write every day, but it's like I definitely freestyle probably every day just to like keep sharp or whatever, keep my mind going. It depends. When I'm between albums, sometimes it's like the last thing I want to do. I just want to focus on beats or whatever. Yeah. But now that I'm in, I need to finish this new album for this coming summer, and it's called Arbutus Canyon. Anyway, that's the working title so far.
Okay.
Like Arbutus tree. Arbutus Canyon. I don't know why that's just what landed in my mind, so I'm sticking with it. And there is a place in British Columbia called Arbutus Canyon, so I'll use that. Anyway, you know, I never liked to write on my phone before, but now I find myself doing it a lot. And I seem to be able to get a quicker flow on my phone than I do with a pen.
Yeah.
I still keep the notepads around. I do use them. But as far as like topically, you know, I'm kind of got to side with Andre on this one. Like, I feel like I don't have, I'm like a hermit in a lot of ways. And I don't always have the most exciting things to talk about. It's just all like in my mind. So, you know, it's the same shit. I'm still rapping about the same stuff I was 20 years ago. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, to me, in the Moka Only world, like making a song is just, I want to just create a mood, something that people can, and also like create like an ideal world that's totally removed from politics and stuff. Like, if you ever hear me start to rap about politics and stuff, it's over. There's a million MCs that do that so much better than I do, and I have my personal preference of how I want to approach music. So you're not going to hear it from me, even though some of my biggest influences are the quote unquote, you know, guys that have touched upon the social ills and remedies and all that sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, for me, I just, whatever my life consists of, that's what I'm rapping about. Whether it's something very mundane or it's aspirations I have, or if it's some completely fabricated fantasies, you know, like that she ran away to Mexico to join the circus. Like, that's not all factual stuff. There's a lot of fantasies in there too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hopes and dreams, a lot of like sexually heated content. And I'd say that's one area that I've kind of steered away from. It's like, I don't know. I think that's just run its course. You know, I touch upon it, like, pause. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, how much can you rap about your dick at 50 years old?
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, leave your dick alone, Moka, man. It's already done enough of that. So I think I won't completely refrain from doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's still room in the world for humor, even if it's like unsavory at times. You know, you still got to do it. So yeah.
But I will say I find a comfort in your music though, that because there's, you know, there's so much that of what rap has this, you know, stigma of like what it's supposed to be hard, be real, street tales. So that I can put your record on and just, oh, okay, you know, Moka's just chilling and making music, and there's a beautiful comfort about that.
I mean, you know, I've had, it's like that's all, everything's valid, you know what I mean? And I've had, well, I'm not gonna talk about it, but you know, I've had my street times and all that, and I just never really wanted to write about it. It doesn't seem like something that's super captivating. In fact, you know, it's, how do I put this? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But you know, I like to write about positive things, or that's just all it is.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's funny you asked me that question, because it's not something I talk about a lot. It's just, it is what it is. I rap how I rap. You either like it or you don't. I can see from an outside perspective how it could be unappealing to a lot of people. You know, like, what's he even rapping about? I don't even understand half of the vernacular he's using. I'll make up words, but I don't care. Like I said, I make music for me first, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I also said, it's like De La, I feel like De La gave me that license to take it as far as you want it or not, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really rap about much, man. It's just my daily doings, you know? Maybe I should get more into the fantasy stuff, or I don't know, or you know, I do have a weakness about, you know, bringing up the past and like nostalgia and all that sort of stuff. But I don't want to completely be a nostalgia rapper.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't rap at all. Maybe I've done enough rapping. I should just do like instrumental albums. I'd be just as happy with that.
Oh,
It's just
stop it.
You had kind of like hinted that you were going to do that for a minute.
yeah, you know, I've said that stuff since 2000 though, you know. the fact is rap is fun. I still enjoy the process of it and using my voice like an instrument. I'm not trying to say too much though, as far as like topic wise. Yeah, there's so many better rappers that handle those other topics better than I can do. So I just stick with my own lane.
Hey man,
Right.
as you keep making it, we'll keep listening.
We enjoy it. Trust me.
Yep.
You know, when you said you get a certain comfort out of it, I've been told that a lot.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. If I can be an escape for people or into like create this idyllic universe or whatever, or just some sort of alternate universe, then I feel like I've done my job well.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I when I got to see the Jungle Brothers live last year.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah, I was. And I got to talk to them afterwards, and you know, we had Mike on the show early on, and I said to them, I'm like, they said, what did you think of the show? And I said, you guys it still embody that, like when you first came out, the fun,
Jungle Brothers,
the fun of hip hop, you know, it's a good time.
Yeah.
It was good vibes. And like their whole set it radiated that.
Yes. And their energy still is crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Their energy is still crazy. And so I would put you in that kind of category, man. It's feel good music.
That's cool, man. That's good. That's good. I mean, with the JBs, it's like, I think it's more like, as far as their shows, I think it's like more about a party, and then it's something they definitely try to get across, you know?
Yep.
It's funny, when they came out, in my mind, they always seemed like my cool uncles or something. They seemed like much older than they actually were, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
How I always looked at them. They're like your crazy wise uncles. They have like, they'll pull you aside at the party, and we you know, we got some things to say. We got some warm words for you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they always came across to me.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah. I hold them in such a high regard, for real.
Oh, they're one of my favorites. Yeah. Yep. They're super dope.
I wish they would, like, you know, saying like make like another Raw Deluxe or something like more in that vein.
Did you did you hear their most recent record?
What's that?
Did you hear Keep It Jungle?
Yeah, I peeped it a little bit. I won't lie, I didn't spend much time with it. You know.
Okay.
It's probably something I'll get around to getting back to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not quite Raw Deluxe, but I like the vibe of it. I thought it was dope.
What did you think of JB's with a Remedy from '94?
It's one of my favorite records.
How great is that shit? That's like
and
so
Crazy
dope.
Wisdom
I thought
Masters.
we were like
and
unlocking
Crazy
the
Wisdom
universe
Masters.
on that album, man. Like, boy, spitting wicked randomness.
Yep.
For the heads
Bro,
of Company
the first
Z.
time I
For the
ever
heads
heard
at
that,
Company Z.
bro, the first time I ever heard that, I had just got the album, and I was with my homeboy Che, and we just got blitted like pretty hard, and we put on that album, and we just like, you know, on the couch, you know, when you smoke and you like stuck to the couch, like it could go either way. It could be really bad or it could be good, or somewhere in the middle. We were listening to that album, and it came along to, as soon as it got to spitting wicked randomness. This is right after what was that other bugged out joint before? It's Good Looking Out, which is kind of like a more thoughtful joint. And then it goes into spitting wicked randomness.
Yep.
We were tripping, man. Like, we was bugging out, like just glued to the speakers. And I thought we were like being given like codes to the universe or something. It was some wild shit, man. I'll never forget that first listen to that album, man. Man, Heads of Company Z.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like, boy, yeah, I had no more to say about it. It was wild.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was. I got the. I remember I was at the record shop and they had the 40 Below Trooper 12-inch. I was like, shit, new JB. So I grabbed it, hadn't even heard it, took it home. I'm like, this shit is dope. So as soon as the album came out, I went and bought it. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And it took a minute, but I was in the car one day and Good Looking Out came on. And then finally it suddenly all clicked. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of the dopest albums ever.
Hell yeah. I remade that song about 15 years ago, by the way. I just never released it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I found the samples and stuff and just remade it. I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I made a song. I even called it Good Looking Out. It was like kind of in homage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
Love to hear that. I love that record. Yeah.
Well, C-Doc, you know me personally, I love Straight Out the Jungle.
Yep.
I didn't really get into Done by the Forces of Nature.
Right.
But when JB's with the Remedy, I'm like, okay, this is me. You know, and then like Crazy Wisdom Masters and listen to both of them together, it's like, oh, okay, this is what I'm here for. And then when the Raw Deluxe came out, I'm like, oh, because that sounded more like Straight Out the Jungle-ish, but now, you know, at a now time. Yeah. But I just thought that Done by the Forces of Nature was too polished for me. Like I didn't.
Really?
Straight Out the Jungle was, because Straight Out the Jungle was so raw.
That shit was impossibly raw. That was so wild.
Yes. Yeah.
I just like. Okay, you say you had Mike on the show. Did he get into like? Did you talk about the method of production that they had on that album?
Yeah, I believe I asked. I believe I asked about it. It was like episode 3. Oh yeah.
It was ages ago.
Yeah,
that's so crazy, and you can hear it. If you ever listen to just the instrumentals from Straight Out the Jungle, and you can hear like why were you not using a sampler? Like no complaint because it's got its own special feel. You want to talk about like offbeat feels and all that stuff. It's like that's the first album you'd hear it on.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yep. Yeah. It's funny, Ultra, because I actually heard. Well, no, I heard because I got it like that. That was the first Jungle Brothers song I heard. But the first album I got was Done by the Forces.
Because I got it like that.
Yeah.
But,
Episode 6.
Episode 6 was like, wow, jeez. And we're
on
a long time
ago.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that one then for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And we're on what? 114?
114. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm real hyped to be here. So thank you again.
No, thank you, man.
For being here.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up? So
somebody ask Moka about LTJ Bookham.
LTJ Bookham?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Alrighty.
Wasn't that like
thank you, Don Key. Yeah.
No, isn't he like a DJ or like a electronic or house producer something? I don't know. I know that name from like reading the Herb magazine or something.
Oh, okay.
All right. I don't know. Yeah, I mean you can only know so much, right?
Yep.
He's actually a British musician.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
So somebody I need to peep. Somebody suggested I should check it out.
British drum and bass musician, producer, and DJ.
Okay, you know what? See, that's a realm of music that I wish I had allowed myself to become more knowledgeable about because I really am not. You know, I like jazz music. That's
Moka, you might need to be looking into this guy. It says he is a British drum and bass musician, producer, and DJ. He and his record label, Good Looking, are most associated with the jazzy, atmospheric side of drum and bass music.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's BUKEM.
What is it?
LTJ BUKEM.
LTJ.
Book 'em.
Book 'em.
Book 'em,
Buck 'em.
Dano.
All right. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Book him, Dano. All
Book
right.
him. Look, you just gave him some press right there.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah.
It's like this is how little I know. Like as far as I know, that guy could be like one of the biggest artists on the planet, and I'm just unfortunately not aware of him.
Well, neither are we, so don't feel bad. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what else you want to talk about? Like, I could talk about anything, man. What do you want to talk about? EPMD?
Sure.
Come on, let's go.
Favorite EPMD record?
Oh boy. Record or album?
Well, I was thinking album, yeah, but
Yeah.
do you have one?
I feel like it changes all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Lately, all I listen to is strictly business, and I remember like back when that came out, like I wasn't really. I liked EPMD, but I wasn't like just going wild for them. It's like they were like more of a slow burn for me. They became, to me, EPMD is, you know how I always talk about Tribe and De La and stuff. EPMD is right up there. Like they might be my favorite duo, you know what I'm saying, ever of all time. And so I don't know. It changes all the time. And it's like anything Hit Squad, Def Squad related, like I'm still checking for it.
Yeah.
To this day. To this day.
To this day. To this day.
To this day. I got my, I can list like favorite songs for sure, like the ones that I like Can't Hear Nothing But the Music was like one of my all-time favorite EPMD songs. I could probably listen to that on repeat for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's a dope.
Man.
That's a dope song.
My all-time favorite EPMD song is "Get the Bozak." Pause.
Word. I mean,
that's
funny,
my all-time favorite EPMD song.
Huh.
Yeah. Mine's
that way it just comes.
Yo. Brothers on my jock for the way I hold a piece of steel. Redman. That might be their best song.
Maybe.
Bozak's a good contender. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like some of the other like Rappers Out of Control is kind of like a goofy song, like in a lot of ways, but that's one of my favorite too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
like
that song.
Tom J in the house.
Yeah. Tom J in the house.
Tom J in the house. Yeah.
Rappers Out of Control.
You know what? I don't, and this is, people find this weird, but that's my least favorite EPMD record. That album. Yeah. I don't like that record.
Wait, which one?
The third one.
Unfinished. Oh, the third one. Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Business as Usual.
Is Business as Usual? Is that the one? Is that what it's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny with the EPMD records. Usually, I'm like, oh, the second one, the fourth one.
It's you get lost.
Well, I get lost with the titles.
Business Never Personal was the '92 one, right?
Yeah, I love that record.
That's how great a record is that?
Love that record.
Boondocks and stuff, man.
Boondocks. So my dude was like, he was getting on my case. He goes, because I don't like the third record. He goes, yeah, but you don't like I'm Mad? That's the best way to start the album ever. I'm like, no, Boondocks is the best way to. And he goes, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, come on, man.
Good point.
Speaking of Redman, you know what's a slept on verse is his what was it? Is it Hardcore or whatever one?
Yeah,
but his use of alliteration and that's Pat Pistol. I'm like that one over so many people said. I'm like, yo, that verse is so dope. Like, woo.
I think that beat though too was overlooked. Like that's a funky ass beat too.
It is.
Yeah.
For some reason on the album, it's like it's mastered quieter than the rest of the album though. That always bugged me.
Yeah.
On what the album, it's like it's down a little bit.
It's down a little bit. Yep. Yeah. What the album is.
You're a customer.
Stupid. One of my favorite albums in any type of music of all time, and one of my most listened to this day.
To this day. The way that album is constructed with the songs they're full songs, but then there's songs that come in and start and stop, and then they end before you think they should, but it goes on to the next thing.
That is and forever will be my favorite Redman album.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Yep,
mine too.
Yeah,
yeah, super good. Oh, Moka, any albums you have? Should we call it like a guilty pleasure, like that nobody else really digs, but you do?
Like rap or anything?
Anything.
That I still listen to?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know. I don't really feel guilty about any of them. Maybe there's some that like surprise people, like Wham, like George Michael, but I don't think that's surprising. I think everybody listens to that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just
okay,
listening.
But there was
I was listening to that the other day, actually.
There's a period like in the 90s. I don't think a lot of rappers would have talked about that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like George Michael's music was something that like people embraced, like in the hip hop community, probably embraced more later on when they realized like just how talented he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Guilty pleasures. Nah. I don't think I have anything. I don't think I feel guilty about any of the music I listen to.
No, I was just using that as like a reference.
No,
point.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but dang. Or like something like this is like wild, unexpected. I don't know. I mostly just listen to jazz. That's what I listen to most of all. And if I'm not listening to my own stuff that I create, and then obviously like 1990s rap.
Yeah.
It's just like you could never. We can't cover everything on one session. You know what I mean?
Sure. You can always come back.
Now just getting comfortable, and we about to wrap it up. You know.
You should come back. You should come back.
Anytime.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, before we wrap up though, since it's Tribe fan, we have this fun argument. Low end theory, Midnight Marauders. Okay.
Yes.
I'll tell you why, but it's like everybody's got their own thing with it.
Yeah.
Like Low End Theory is so dear to me. If you want me to say the favorite, I'm just going to say the first.
Oh, wow.
People's Instinctive Travels.
Wow.
That did a lot for me. And to me, have you ever listened to that album and it actually like reads like a Jungle Brothers album? To me, it's like a because Tip was basically a Jungle Brother at first.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how that album comes across, and then everything subsequently, like they never like touched that sound again. But Midnight Marauders for me, Midnight Marauders was just it came at a even more pivotal time for me. When that album came out, I was just moving to San Diego, California, and it just represented this just a big turning point for me, and like starting to be taken a little more seriously wherever I went to rap at. And that album was with me every step of the way.
Wow.
To this day, check this out. I listen to that album's like a religion to me. It's like a Bible. Like, I won't listen to it from about March until November 9th, I won't listen to it. Then November 9th, the release date.
Yeah.
I gotta do this Midnight Marauders ritual. I won't let nobody get at me. I don't want no messages from nobody. I'm turning my phone off, and I put that album on November 9th and listen to it beginning to end and just let the memories come. And it's like,
that's great. And
it's always the perfect timing because it's right when I'm doing Martian Christmas too.
Yeah.
That album is, I'm just, there's so much you could say about it. There's too much. I'm psychotic about that album.
No, I get it. I like Low End Theory more, but I get it.
Low End Theory's just mind blowing too, man. Yes. I got yo, check this out. When Low End Theory came out, I remember I bought it from this little independent store, and I was waiting for the release date. It came. I was happy as a clam. I went home. I still living at my folks' house then. And I didn't want to be disturbed at all listening to for the first time. So I took my Walkman out to the back of the house where nobody could find me and I wouldn't be bugged. And I listened. I stood there, listened to the first side. I'm just like, wow, wow, wow. Flipped the tape over. It was blank. I had a defective tape.
Oh,
Right when I was at my apex, like I was about to nut, you know what I'm saying? Like this, like, you know, so I took it back to the record store and I had to wait an additional 2 weeks for them to get another copy in. And during that time, I did not want to go hear it at no homies' houses or nothing. All the other cats I knew who had it, I was like, save me your descriptions because I don't want to know. This is from me. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that album was mad pivotal to me. But I'm just saying, as far as like, I just always seem to side with the Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
It's the eternal that people are going to be arguing about that in 80s.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing to argue about. It's just preferences, right?
It's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I mean, people online will say it's gospel, but it's like, come on, you know.
Some people don't like Done by the Forces of Nature.
Hey, Ultra, I got a question, man. It's like your page is so phenomenal. Your Instagram page.
Thank you, sir.
I've told you this in private message before. It's just I don't understand how you have the time to do it all. To me, like if I was doing like edited compilations and stuff like that, like I don't know, maybe I'm just slow at adopting technology, but I don't know how you do it, and it always just strikes such a chord with me. Like I really look forward to seeing those, but I'm always thinking, I'm like, how does he have the time to do it? Like, how long does it take you to stitch one together? Or is that something you'd rather keep
No, I'll tell you. So I've been doing this, like I started doing this during the pandemic, during the lockdown. That's when I started doing it. And that was just to cure boredom.
Yeah.
Because I had never done anything like I didn't know what I was doing. I never did that before. But I'm at, right now, some of them take like 10 minutes. Like even, you know what the funny thing is? It's more or less when I'm done mixing it down, like trying to get sound effects and things correct. That's the hardest part. The creativity, once you get the idea and the execution, I can do it rather quickly, but it's really the mixing down of the music, or, you know, blending in sounds and stuff.
Well, they're brilliant, man. Like,
thank you.
Just like, and introducing a new generation to like older movies and television shows through it, or reintroducing like this stuff that I missed that I've been reintroduced to through your video clips, man. And I just love the way you do it. It's highly inspirational.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you come up with some beauties.
The one he did for Yag Fu Front is still their favorite thing ever.
Word.
With Rin 55. Yep.
Yeah.
I did the one More Soup. I gotta put that out again with the it was Seinfeld, when it was him and Banya sitting down to get some soup.
Yeah. I was by that. Thanks again by the way.
Yeah. No problem, man.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I guess we didn't talk about that. How did that song come about? How did that collab come about?
With Doom.
Oh, Doom?
Yeah.
I just asked him if he wanted to join.
That's great.
I don't remember where I asked him though. It might have maybe I don't know, but all I know is he was enthusiastic about it and we just made it happen. But check it out. The version you hear, that's not the first version. The version that he actually rapped on first with me was a beat that I produced.
Oh.
And I got offered this other version, like the one that everybody knows with the doo 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 doo. I got offered that, and in my mind, it just seemed much stronger. It seemed like a better beat than what I had come up with. So that's the one we went with. And I can't find the original version that I did with him. So I hope someday I come across that. Like, you know, I got a million things that still haven't come out, y'all. Like seriously, like albums and albums like they haven't seen the light of day that are, you know, stuck on 8-at tapes that I still have to mix. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wow.
Tons of stuff. Man. Even like the year 2002 alone, I'm probably sitting on like 4 or 5 albums worth of stuff from just that year. You know what I mean?
It's so impressive, man. So
Yeah.
I don't even know how I did it, to be honest with you. I'm just saying, if you pick a year like 2002, that was the year I was probably on the road that year doing shows with that group and by myself also more than any other year. That's probably like the most touring ever done in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the most music I've ever recorded in one year. I don't understand how it happened. I guess inspiration will make you do some crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
When you're really hungry and you just, all I know is back in those days, every time I would come back from like 2 or 3 weeks on the road, all I want to do is record. So I might just do 3 or 4 joints in one night. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, all right, I have limited time off. What I'm going to do with this time is,
Yeah.
I don't want to be out and about. I don't want to go to no clubs and stuff because I just did that for the last 3 weeks every night. So why don't I just be by myself and just, you know, make music. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that year, man, I don't know how that's even possible, man.
That's so
kind of
great.
weird to me. Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot slower now. Like I can go like a couple weeks now without making anything. In my mind, I want to make stuff, but I've made so much, man. It's like,
yeah,
you know, I gotta cook at my own speed now. But fortunately, I mean, I love this. Like, as you can probably glean through our conversation, like rap shit is just, it means more to me than anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it so much. The inspiration is definitely there. It's the only thing that has changed over the years is like the habit of I used to just do 2 songs every night if I was in the city just to do it, like as an exercise. And I find I don't do that so much anymore. And I think it's just the distraction of life. Being at the age I'm at now, and then the damn internet, man. The damn internet. You can just get sucked into YouTube for hours on end.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or whatever topic, you know what I mean? So if I could shake that and get my habit back on to where it's just all music all the time, then I think I'll be a lot happier. Yeah.
Do you challenge yourself, like with give yourself parameters when you're making joints?
Well, when I have a album and a deadline, I always ask whatever label, like if it's UrbNet or whatever, just it's like you have to give me a deadline, otherwise I might not come up with anything. You know what I mean? I need somebody to like champion me or like be my cheerleader. That helps a lot. Otherwise, I just might go into space. You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
Yeah. There's a lot. I wish I was doing it the same way I was in 2002, 2001. And I think it's entirely possible to get back to that, but it has a lot to do with habit and not letting myself get distracted.
Yeah.
I hate this era for that. I really do, honestly.
Yeah.
I can just get lost in space, man. You got to wonder at times, like, what do you think all these cellular waves and shit are doing to our brain? Like, do you think it has an effect on us? Is it scrambling all of our minds? I'm not saying like it's cooking us,
right?
But it's like, if you were to be able to look outside and see these waves through cellular, like we might not be able to see anything else.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like a frightening thought, man.
Very true.
You got to think it's got to have some sort of effect on how we conduct ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's completely separate from the type of content that we see. You know, we're constantly having all this shit thrust in our vision, you know, the stuff we don't necessarily want to see, you know, we don't choose. You might open up, like, say, Instagram and just see some very unsavory stuff. And, you know, it's got to have an effect on us, both on like a cellular or radio frequency level and all the stuff that we see. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think we all need a break.
Yeah.
You know, but we got to do the podcast. We got to make music. It's got to keep going. You know.
Yep. You got to find your way through it.
Yeah. Get my habit back. You know what I mean? I'm definitely working on a lot of stuff, and I'm always, you know, I get commissioned to do beats and rap guest appearances on people's stuff all the time too. So there's that can also distract me from whatever album project I'm trying to get done on time, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do allow, aside from Martian Christmas, I do allow myself a longer construction period now, and that feels about right for where we're at.
Yeah. It's good. I mean,
if I can get one album out every year besides Martian Christmas, that's like I'll be happy. But as it stands, in the last few years, that hasn't been the track record. Like I put out It Can Do in 2020. I didn't follow it up with what came after that? No, it was Concert for One, 2017. It Can Do was my next LP, and that came out 2020. And then
well, no, you had Patina and
no, I did another after It Can Do. It's called I don't know. It was a good album, whatever it was. I enjoyed it. It Can Do.
Well, you had It Can Do. Then you did a thing with Cutmaster Kurt.
Oh yeah, we made that in 2020 though.
Okay. And
what year are we looking for?
Martian 2020. And then I guess in 2021 you only had the Martian.
Yeah, you're right. So
Christmas
I didn't. So between It Can Do from 2020, I mean, and this just came out 2023. So
right,
I'm not doing it the same way I used to. And if there's one thing I'd like to change, I would like to get back to being like ultra prolific again. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And
yep.
Got to make it happen. That's my resolution for this new year.
There you go.
There you go.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Moka Only New Year's resolution.
She ran away to Mexico to join the circus. According to this, was 2020 as well.
Yeah, but it's actually
a re-release?
Yeah, it's a release. It's actually, I made it in 2001.
Right.
So it doesn't really count to me in my head because I didn't make it that year. It was like the only thing I did was adjust some mixes, and that was it. It was already in the can.
Mm-hmm. And you would also put out the summer 2002 volume 1 and 2 in 2022.
Yeah, that doesn't count either because those done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. Like I have things that come out between the albums, but like the main LPs. But I'm saying those main Moka Only LPs, they're not coming quite as quick as they used to.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I have faith.
Yeah. Well, I got to be able to sell them, right? You can't. There's only so much you can offer the public,
Yeah.
Like even the greatest adamant fan you're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah.
I can't even remember half the shit I did myself.
Right.
Right.
I'm still catching up. So yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yep. All right. Well, then you got to come back. You got to come back.
I would love to. I would love to.
Yes.
I have one request.
Yes.
Just give Chuck D my regards, please.
Of course. I let him know you were going to be on the show, but he must be busy because I didn't hear back. So
that's all good.
Yep.
I just
maybe he might be around for the next time. So
you never know. It just might be.
Yep. We'll do. Yeah. So thank you, Moka. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Moka Only, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
It's dinner time now. I gotta go eat, man. I am starving.
All right. Talk to you soon, sir.
Bless up.
All right. Peace. Yeah.
That was fun.
That was hella fun. That was great. That was great. Yeah, man. His work ethic, his output, his discography is an inspiration.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I tell you what my friend told me about him. I was like, when I looked, I said, "Hey, what? Like, where do I start?"
You're right. Right, exactly. I remember I told Chuck about him. I was like, "Did you ever hear Moka Only?" And he's like, "I don't think." I was like, "He's from Vancouver, Canadian." I'm like, and this was years ago. I'm like, "Dude's got like 65 albums." And Chuck, what? I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're shit." I'm like, "No, I'm serious." Like,
yeah.
He's like, "You mean like?" I'm like, "No, he's 65 albums." Yeah. Like, Chuck was just like, "What?" That Chuck D what kind of thing. Yeah. So, but
wow.
Yeah. So it's great to actually talk to Moka, and we'll have him back. There you go, Jennifer.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I say there's a Moka Only once a month. Little excerpt
convo.
We should do. You know what? We should have more and do like just hip hop talks. Me, you, him, Flatline, Jennifer. We just talk hip hop stuff.
I love that. Hell yes. We were talking about doing that anyway, like pick album or whatever, and
yeah, we should do that. Pick an album. We listen to it. If we haven't heard it for a while, fresh ears, and talk about it.
Yes, I love it.
We got something here.
There we go. Channel 0, home of this hip hop shit. And Ultra, let everybody know It's C-Doc again is brought to you by
Auga.
Yes.
Which is the beer made by the Awesome 2 that's made by Hackensack Brewing. If you're in the area, North Jersey, New York, or just a beer enthusiast, go see Hackensack Brewing. Get a Auga. Tell them they call me AP up there. Tell them AP sent you.
There you go. AP.
Tell them somebody sent you.
Yes.
Somebody sent you.
And the show is also brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group.
The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
And I just realized that I was going to update that commercial and I haven't done it yet. All right. So there you go. That's my New Year's resolution.
All righty.
Spit Slam commercial. Yep. But, yeah. So there you go. And you can catch Flatline, myself, and Mr. Chuck D every Friday on rapstation.com for the Angie Don't Stop radio show where I play the Spit Slam Jam of the Week. You can catch Ultramag Jennifer O'Jenny and DJ Soulbuck every Sunday for the mixtape, where Soulbuck will be spinning music from the guests that we have the following. Well, we'll be back to Tuesday, the following Tuesday. So next Tuesday, who do we have coming up, Jennifer?
Klept from Junior Mafia.
Klept, the homie.
All right. Yep. There we go. So we'll be talking to Klept from Junior Mafia. I want to thank Jennifer O'Jenny, Ultramag 7, for joining me tonight. Shout out to Flatline. Hope he's enjoying his trip. And big ups to everybody watching the show live, everybody watching on the replay. We'll see you next week for another episode of It's C-Doc again.
Absolutely.